Moving on with the Indian tomb, now into part 2, the Tiger of Eshnapur. We continue our story. As we last left it, we had Ayan, the Maharaja, looking for revenge against his lover who had fallen for a man, Mac Allen, whom the Maharaja has now captured and is looking for his revenge against this person as well as his love. We have Herbert, who now has caught leprosy and is sidelined for much of the movie, much to my disappointment, I would say, because I really liked him as a main character. He's kind of pushed off with a leper colony, and we follow Irene as now the main character, Herbert's love, as she's trying to find a cure for Herbert, trying to save the princess, trying to stop Mac Allen from being murdered. She becomes the crux of the story. Understandable, as she was the wife of the director, so now she takes mainstay and becomes the hero here. I don't know if that's in the book or part of the story. I may check out the Lang version next to see if that is so. And we get a movie that is just a little bit lesser than the first one. The first one had more atmosphere and excitement and built up, and now it's getting to the climax, the crux of the story, the finale, which is impactful, which is shocking, but we'll get there. And we kind of lose a lot of the strength that we had in the first one. We get a couple of elongated flashbacks to scenes that were in the first movie that feel as if it's padding out the runtime. This one is only 106 minutes, so it's very much shorter than the first part, and some of that, like I said, is regurgitated footage from the first one as a kind of recap to certain scenes as to where people have ended up and why they've ended up in that situation. Now, you do get Conrad Veidt really going for it in this version. He really gets to stretch his acting chops and really chew up the scenery as this man who has been wronged and is looking for a revenge of sorts, who's had enough, who's just, doing something that he ultimately doesn't really want to do. We get Irene just trying to be the hero. She gets offered an indecent proposal. Spend one night with the Maharaja and a mystic will cure Herbert of leprosy, which opens up all kind of avenues of discussions around that. It's the same fantastic photography we had in the first one. We get a wonderful chase sequence through the mountains at the end that ends with a really shocking finale for a movie of this time, for a movie where I did feel as if it wasn't going to be a completely happy ending for everybody. It really does have a pretty shocking ending for a couple of people. I won't say any more than that, but it wraps it up really quickly as well with a kind of fitting emotional punch at the end of it. I would say that the movie kind of struggles for the most part. I think changing from Herbert to Irene was a bit of a mistake. I understand it narratively speaking, but it just never seems to connect as much as the first one. And because we're harkening back to that so much, you feel as if that should be a strong continuation. Whereas Irene is a sideline character in the first one and Herbert is pretty much our protagonist that we follow, the role reversal feels a little bit off and our character is almost sidelined, and I kind of missed him, to be honest. Although I do like Irene and I do think she comes up to some adversity, I don't think she was as interesting a character as Herbert was, although she does do some fascinating things. I think Conrad Veidt steals this segment of the movie, this part, because he just gets to go broad and open up and conquer everything. The score continues to be great. The city landscapes are wonderful. The real dark themes that come through in this part are really kind of haunting and very destructive and very unusual. I really like them a lot. So yeah, there we have it, The Indian Tomb. Part 2, not as good as part 1. That's not a slight in the movie. It just was a lot to live up to and it never quite landed there. Still, I would love to know your thoughts on The Tiger of Eshnapur, part 2 of The Indian Tomb. Let me know if it's worth checking out the Lang version that came in the 50s, because I am somewhat curious now to check out another variation of this story, because it is quite fascinating. As always, there's more content up here. You can see more of my stuff if you wish. If you want to hit that like button, that would be amazing, because You know, I'd like to know that you guys enjoy the silent movies as much as I do. And if you want to join the Patreon or the membership program, the link's in the comment box below, and that would be greatly appreciated as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Man v Film.